Reaching out to a tattoo artist can be a super intimidating process. I see a lot of people online who struggle with sentiments like, I don't want to waste the artist's time. I don't want to be an annoying customer. I don't know if it's okay for me to ask this question, or I don't want to bother my artist. On top of these anxious thoughts, there can be sources of confusion, like how every artist booking process isn't standardized. And for many artists, myself included, our booking processes can change as evolve as we figure out a better way to do things. While I can't tell you how every artist does their booking process, I can walk you through what a client would do to book in with me. And I can also reassure you that I will never see you as annoying or a time waster or a bother just for asking questions or for not knowing certain things about tattoos and tattoo culture in advance. So if you still have questions at the end of the video, please comment them below. I would be very happy to answer them, or you can send me an email. But for now, let's dive into it. Step 0, choosing your project and your artist. I call this step 0 because while it isn't necessary and it isn't part of your direct interaction with me, I do think it's absolutely essential. This step is about taking time to reflect with yourself on what project you'd like to tackle next, finding reference pictures that can help communicate your expectations, and seeing your artist portfolio to make sure that you're happy with the quality you're seeing. If you're new to tattoos in general, it could be important to take some time to research tattoos, what styles are available, what's possible to do with the medium, and looking at sites like the Age Tattoo subreddit or the Tumblr page to observe how different styles age over the years. If you're struggling with indecision, many artists will offer what's called a flash design. These are drawings that are pre-made that clients can just choose from. Some flash designs are repeatable and some are non-repeatable, meaning that sometimes they are open to more than one client getting them, and sometimes it'll no longer be available once somebody claims it. For my own designs, these are clearly marked on my Venue.ink page, and you'll also be able to see pricing for different size ranges for each flash piece, as well as the deposit price. Step 1, filling out a booking form. Personally, I use a platform called Venue.ink. It doesn't require account creation, it just needs an email and or a phone number so you can get notifications when I send you messages. It'll ask you a few questions about your project, including a text box where you can write a description of it, give an estimated size range, choose the placement for the tattoo on the body, like on an arm, a leg, the back, etc. And it also lets you submit your top 3 reference photos. Once you submit a booking request, it'll open up a chat box between us where I can suggest dates based on what you submitted as your availability. I can send sketches at a higher quality than what DMs usually allow, and even send deposits and payment options. Here, I can also answer any questions you might have about the project, any concerns about the pain management, the aging, whatever you'd like to know. While I know that it can be intimidating to use a new platform, this platform has allowed me to fully avoid instances of double bookings, forgetting when people are rescheduled, or losing information from having to review one giant wall of text from emails or DMs. It also works well for fraud prevention. I've seen scams where unknown people will use emails that sound like a certain artist, and they'll ask for deposits and drawing fees, and it can be nearly impossible for a client to really know whether that is their artist unless they've exchanged emails before. So I appreciate that with this platform, clients can always know where their money is going. If you feel that your project is very large or very complex, and that you can't really describe all of the elements of it well through text, we can do a session together called a consultation. During a consultation, you would come in person so we can chat about your project, see reference pictures, and maybe even play with some rough sketches to make sure that every element of your idea is communicated well. Even if you don't have a large or complicated project, you're welcome to schedule a consultation if you just want to chat with an artist in person before you book in, or just get some opinions about different potential placements or how to arrange elements or whatever it may be. Step 2, receive a quote for your tattoo. Once I feel I have all the information I need about the size and complexity of your project, I can offer you a quote for your final project, and this is no strings attached. While I can't always guarantee it, and while I can't guarantee any specific amount, I do sometimes have room to work with people's budgets. So if you have a budget limitation or the price that I offered is outside of the range you can work with, please don't feel afraid to communicate that with me. I am very understanding of the fact that many people can feel embarrassed to discuss their financial situations openly or to ask for discounts. But even if I can't take a discounted project this month, I can keep you in mind for the future and reach back when that might be possible. Step 3, scheduling a date for your tattoo. Based on your availability as described in the form and based on my availability, I'll suggest 3 potential dates and times over Venue.inc that you can choose from. If none of those dates work, it's very simple and quick for me to edit these and suggest 3 new dates and times for us. Once you approve of a date, the platform will request a deposit to hold your spot. This deposit goes towards the final price of your tattoo, which means that this amount is going to be discounted from the final price on the day of. For myself, as I am currently speaking in April of 2025 as an apprentice, my deposit amount is $50. So for example, if your project is $200, you would pay $50 as a deposit, and then the remaining $150 once we complete your tattoo. Step 4, start pre-care. This step isn't a requirement, but I do have a list of pre-care instructions to give the best result possible with your tattoo. Sessions go fine even if clients don't do any of these, but I find they go a lot smoother and sometimes even faster when they do. Step 5, drawing revisions. This isn't considered the industry standard, but I do like to send designs to clients 1 to 3 days before our tattoo appointment so that they can review it ahead of time. That way I can have time to make small revisions as needed, and the client can sit with the design for a little bit. We can still make revisions on the day of your appointment as well. If we end up needing larger revisions that would require more time, like drawing it from scratch, we can still absolutely reschedule using the same deposit and clarify in what ways I might have misinterpreted the information I was given and how to pivot. If we end up rescheduling because of a total change of mind, like a desire to do a new project entirely or redo this project in a totally new way, that's totally possible, and I'm very happy to arrange whatever is needed for you to get the project that you want. However, in that instance, booking for a new project would require a new deposit. Step 6, preparing for your appointment day. On the day of, there's some important things that you can do to prepare for your session. Eating a hearty meal beforehand, staying hydrated will both help immensely, as glucose levels can spike and drop during a tattoo session, especially for longer days. Making sure you have a government-approved form of photo ID is also essential, as well as sorting out your payment method. This could be as simple as having your phone on hand, as the payment methods I accept includes Cash, Venmo, Zelle, Stripe for credit and debit cards, and Cash App. You could also ask yourself what you would like as sources of comfort, like having a friend or a partner sit by you, having a blanket or a stuffed animal, having a stim toy, or specific snacks that you prefer to eat during breaks. At our shop, we have chips, candy, and water available. Step 7, aftercare. How well your tattoo will look over the years will depend greatly on your aftercare, especially during the first 2 to 4 weeks when that first layer of skin is healing over and it can still be considered an open wound. I have aftercare instructions on my Venue.inc page and on my website for easy reference. And then on my website, there's also a Google Drive link if you prefer to have it printed out. But other than that, in this stage, you just get to enjoy a beautiful new tattoo. And that's it. That was a long one. I'll be making more videos in the future on some of these topics too, like the reason why our glucose spikes and drops during tattoos, or just reviewing why pre-care and aftercare instructions are so important. Thank you for holding out with me on this one. Please leave a comment if you have any questions. Drop a like if this was helpful to you at all, and I'll see you guys on the next video.